Marcos, why are you wearing? Can I ask why you're wearing a clown nose? I heard you're wearing a clown nose, or at least you were.
I still am. No, well, I'm TeeHee pilled, right?
Like, what does that mean? What do you mean?
Hold on. All right. What happened was, I was doing research for a bunch of stuff, and then I'm very influenceable. Extremely influenceable, right? I have my brain doesn't work or function like a normal person's. So one of the listeners who listens to my show, she's like a doctor, like an actual medical doctor, right? And she goes she has she's like a pharmapsychiatrist or like a psychopharmacologist.
She's like a real deal. She's not playing around.
Yes, not at all. And she's amazing. And she reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, I think the medications you were talking about are actually bad for you." She goes, I'm not saying it, but here's some resources and stuff. Anyways, we struck up a conversation. We've been hanging out, and she goes you should talk more about the news because I'm kind of interested in your views on the news. And I was like, of course, that's exactly, you're a medical doctor. That's a genius idea. So I started libbing out hard and listening to every single news podcast.
Is that what you were talking about when you were telling me you're getting newsy?
Yeah. Okay. Dude, bad, dude. I listened to almost 13 hours of different news podcasts.
To impress a doctor.
The right and
the
the
daily,
left.
like that sort of
I
stuff.
listen to the Daily. I listen to Ezra Klein. I listen to the Patriot podcast. I listen to Alex Jones. I listen to everything because I don't want a single viewpoint. I want all of them.
Marcos, you're becoming an information pimp. This is how it starts.
It's real sicko shit. Well, I've changed it, and now I'm doing what I call the TeeHee pill. Right.
Okay.
And what it is that the news of what's going on in the world is so fucking depressing and hard.
It's awful.
It's
I've
awful.
never felt worse about the news and the world in my life.
What I do is I go home, I take eyelash glue, and I glue a fucking a fucking clown nose to my nose, and I look myself in the mirror and I read back what I remember from the news, and I can't help but laugh at it. I'm like, you look how fucking stupid you look right now. You're doing this. And I've curled my mustache to make myself look stupider.
Okay. Dude, you gotta start a YouTube channel. I would watch this.
It's on the YouTube, and I've been streaming like this. And I've been playing. I stream and I talk about Kenshi, which is this fucked up game where it's just number go up button, real nut button hour shit.
Oh,
and anytime someone brings up the news, I'm like, fucking listen to me, pal. It's the fucking news. So I'm TeeHee pilled. I've taken the TeeHee. That's the TeeHee. Every time I say something insane or I'm like a TeeHee, and then that's. But the nose helps me perform now. Now
it's your safety nose.
Yeah, I put the nose on and I feel better about anything. It's crazy.
That's honestly, I'm that's a great tip. I mentioned already, I've been feeling things have been bad. I need anything to change my mood, my happiness level. Maybe I need a nose.
One of the craziest things that I found out recently that I was gonna hijack the podcast. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was
oh God.
Javier Milei has recently tried to what are those called? Deregulate, or he's gonna put a bunch of he's gonna declassify a bunch of Nazi stuff that Argentina.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is the other thing we were talking about. Fuck
yeah.
This is what all of mine and Marcos' conversations are about.
Every single one.
Yo, you hear about Argentina Nazis?
So Argentina has had a long history of it was the end point for a lot of the rat lines for the escape out of this is history, right? Historically, that's what happened. So Argentina has a lot of paperwork about getting people to other countries, and in that in the JFK in the 2017 under the Trump one, when he tried to release the JFK files for the first time, one of the documents that got let out was that the CIA had discovered or had gotten several reports from several different field officers in Argentina that Adolf Hitler in 1956 was alive.
Yup.
And
Yup.
and there was photos. Yeah, there was photos of this, supposed photos of this guy with. And the thing is, when the CIA says,
Wait.
oh, yeah,
Wait, I'm so sorry to interrupt this, but I really need to know, like, right now, was he still rocking the mustache?
yeah, he literally looked the same. He didn't change his appearance at all. It drove me insane. I'm like, dude, that's someone's like Theo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's someone's German Theo in Argentina. And like,
that's just Hitler. That's just Hitler.
Dude, no, it's a Hitler, dog. Like you're out of your mind.
There should be a cut scene in Mad Men where Don Draper goes to Argentina. He's just at a bar. It's just Hitler is there.
It's like, hey, is that? Wait, hold on. Wait,
let me ask you something.
Yeah.
They're rebranding Zyklon B.
Yeah. What if we use?
But of course, like Don Draper will be in love with like some like lefty, whatever. So he'll be reading Marcuse in the bar that Hitler sits down in or whatever.
Oh my god. Anyways,
Holy
so
fuck.
they have a picture of him. But here's the thing about the CIA. When the CIA declassifies stuff, if they tell you it's bullshit, it's not real, here's what they'll do usually. They'll provide you with the facts that prove that it's not real. They'll provide you with a list of like, here's some shit. Yeah, we looked into it. It wasn't real. So here's some stuff. Here's some dates. Here's some things that would make sense for you. Here's like, they would provide you with something.
Like they did with the
CIA,
Stargate stuff that we looked at a while back.
Yeah, what the CIA did instead was like, no, that's impossible. That would never happen. Actually, no, this is nope. That guy never worked for us actually, and the guy who the field agents who reported, we don't even know who they are. And
this is always what they do.
Yeah,
this is like whenever it is the thing, they're like, we don't know that guy. It's like we don't know that guy.
That guy was never my friend.
Yeah, we have no idea who this dude is. No, legitimately, that is fucking how it happened. Like they literally, so like for me, my red flags went off of like, oh, that's interesting, but it came back into the news because of Javier Milei talking about, hey, we're going to release all of the stuff we have about the Nazis, all the transactions and stuff.
Oh my god!
And
so wait, is he theoretically going to release that?
Here's
Hitler?
what I honestly here's what I think. If they find if he releases stuff and it's only like a few things and not a tranche of fucking like documents, it's complete bullshit. Right? Okay. If he releases like 20, it's like the Epstein files that Pam Bondi sent.
Oh, yeah, the bullshit ones where they got all the influencers in the White House and they're like, look at this, and they open the file and it's just like
a moth
there's like
flies
10 words in it.
The thing that was crazy about it is that it was 200 pages, right? Like,
oh my fucking god.
The thing is that's 20 years. It was like almost 20 years of research had gone into like Epstein. He had been on the radar for that long. And if in 20 years you only have 200 pages, somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody is not doing their job, dog. That should have been like a 30,000 page report about, you know what I'm saying? The Mueller report was like over 1,000 pages. You're out of your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so like, that's what I'm saying. If the Milei stuff comes out and it's only literally like 100 pages, it's bullshit. But if he comes out with like thousands, which I don't think he will, what I think is going to happen, because the thing is it like directly implicates Argentina in the like rat lines, and like not just Argentina, but like the Argentinian officials. And it like, if anything, he's going to use it to discredit his political enemies more.
I think that's probably what it would be, right? Because he's kind of like a
political outsider.
He's elected.
Yeah.
He's like he positions himself as an outsider. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's crazy. So we discovered.
Welcome to Western Kabuki.
Hitler was alive in Argentina in 1950.
Rocking the stash.
He still had the stash.
He had the same stash. He literally did not change anything. He was like, "I'm not. This is my look." You know what I'm saying?
Oh my fucking god! I believe it. I'm all in on this theory.
I'm all in on it. Okay. My name is Caleb. Alex is out sick. Unfortunately, he's got the flu. We have got June. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. I'm considering the TeeHee pill. I I'm considering getting a crew together and trying to find the tunnels in Argentina.
Let's go.
Like no, I'm thoroughly my parents a while back, not to expand more on the Hitler thing, but my dad a while back started talking to me. He was like, yeah, there's like a lot of interesting documentaries about how Hitler could still have been alive in Argentina. And I was like, oh yeah, really? And I don't know, I'm just hearing more and more about it.
Everybody's talking about
there's
Hitler.
a lot of everyone's talking about how he was alive in the 1950s still.
Yeah. Lolo, how you doing, pal?
I wish I could say I was doing well, but I'm not doing so great. I did my normal thing tonight where I ordered all of my groceries from Target on my web app and on my phone. And I got a little hungry, so I added a Taco Bell stop to my order and I ordered chalupas, and the driver brought me regular tacos.
Oh my
so
God, I
I
hate
shot him
that.
directly in the head.
Yeah, well, you gotta
He's
do
dead
what you
now.
gotta do.
He's dead.
He's dead.
So that's all.
Oh, that's what the feet in the corner of your room are. That's what those are. Shit. Okay.
Yeah. He did come
Just
up the
on the
stairs though.
ground.
He did come up the stairs though, which I appreciate.
Yeah. 4 stars.
Not many would do that. Not many would make that
No,
effort.
well, I lie to them. I say, "Come upstairs. I have a tip." I don't have a tip. I meant the tip of my gun.
We have a special guest, I think, as evidenced by our 15-minute cold open.
Yeah, psychotic cold
Yeah,
open, my
yeah.
bad.
Marcos is back. Lolo, this is your first episode with Marcos, and actually, I believe, probably at this point, we have a substantial amount of new listeners who may not know
who
what
I am,
episodes with Marcos are like.
the
Tonight,
old homie.
yeah, the homie, you'll learn to love him. Tonight we're ostensibly talking about the Treatler discourse and such, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go on a few detours. Marcos, how you doing tonight, pal?
I'm good. I'm super good. I just got narrowly shot at by some guy. I had a bunch of targets, and he's like, "Oh, I want a chalupa." They didn't have them. We're in a crisis right now. We're in a meat crisis.
You escaped a series of Home Alone-esque traps to get to your mic.
the fingernails and corpses of others were in his hallway. It was weird.
There's a lot of bodies.
Great to have you back, man.
my fucking God.
Little personal news.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I got suspended on Twitter today after I've had that account since George Bush
I
was
saw that.
president.
What happened?
I don't know because I didn't have it didn't give me like a specific tweet that I had been bad on. It just I was suspended. But then
okay. I'm looking right here. It looks like you're still up. I can
yeah.
still
So
see
check
your
this
profile.
out. I did the thing.
Yeah.
I did the thing. I'm being persecuted for my right-wing beliefs and my appeal. And fucking
my
20
God.
minutes later, my account was restored. That actually works.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's unbeatable. Why is that strat so good? They just
It's
see right
crazy.
wing. They have like a filter. If it says right wing in there, they're like, all right, let them through.
It's got to be
Let
some
'em through.
amount of like keywords and like how many followers you have and how old your account is or something. Because there's no way a person on fucking Saturday like actually looked at that and was like, yeah, the information pimp is good people. Let's keep him around, right? So
To be fair, the information pimp does sound like a cat turd esque
that's true,
guy.
dude.
You know,
Yeah,
like it's very much there. Like you're in the wheelhouse.
yeah.
Like you could, they probably thought you posted about the like the feet under the pyramids in Egypt. Yeah. Like they're like, oh, this is one of our guys. Let him through.
Okay.
That's crazy to me though, because like, so my original account that was suspended back in 2023, I used that keyword, the like, oh, I'm being suppressed for my right wing beliefs, and this is why I think they definitely knew who I was when they suspended me.
June,
Like
you
they
were
intentionally
suspended
did that.
on the orders of the top man, Elon Musk. He
Oh, that's
100%
100%
wants you
true.
dead.
Yeah, he does. I wholly believe that. I never got direct confirmation that he did. All I know is it seems likely because whenever it said very similar things to you, they're like, no, do not apply again. We will not be monitoring this thread. And I'm like, that account's just fucking,
You're done.
To the shadow realm. They fucking blasted that. They nuked it.
Jesus Christ.
Did I
Yeah.
ever tell you about? So I have a racist Meemaw in my life.
Okay.
Right.
It happens.
Okay.
Like, so I have like a bunch of families that are like I'm part of that I'm not actually part of. And one of them is I have like my brother, my younger brother, he's like a Republican version of me, which is awful. It's terrible.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's like
It's kind of fucking crazy.
It's horrific actually, because he's got my way of like being able to convince you of shit you would not believe. But you know what I'm saying? But like I'm trying to do it from a perspective of like, no, the CIA is actually bad. My brother's like, no, the CIA is good actually. They're based actually. But one of his best friends is like some Okie, and their whole family, they like came out California during the Depression, right? And literally no one knows. I don't think anyone has ever referred to her by her name. She's just Grammy, right? We just know her as Grammy. And Grammy believes everything that like every single Republican talking point that's out there, but she has such a bizarre spin on it. So like she calls him Elon Musk, right? Because she's never heard the word Elon, right? That doesn't exist to her. She's too country for that word. So
That's
it's
Ellen.
Elon Musk. Yeah, I love Elon Musk. That's literally what I love Elon Musk. And she goes, and he's just so smart. And she's
like accidentally the libs that like misname him, like call him Ilona.
Yeah. She's like he's what he's gonna do. He's so smart. He's gonna figure out a way to put our eternal souls into a crystal and shoot us into Mars where we can live together forever with Jesus. She goes, I saw it on Fox News. And I was like, I don't think you did, Grammy, but I appreciate you telling me this, right? Listen. Grammy.
Look, I love that theory. I love the crystal theory.
That's actually
Elon
cool.
Musk
And I was
actually
like,
did that to me. I would spend eternity trying to figure out a way to kill him for that.
Yeah. Like ensouling you, getting you in the soul crystal.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck that. Keep me out of it. I do not
trap?
belong in a crystal. That is no good to me.
No, anyways, you wanted to talk about treatlerites, and like the thing is, I'm a mailman in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I have so much experience with them, and I have so many thoughts about treatler shit, and like it's gonna get real schizophrenic real quick.
Do you have a war story, just a single war story you want to lead off with before we get? Because we're going to do, and I want to start the actual episode of this on like kind of a more principled basis. But before we do that, do you want to get a little weird with at least one?
Yeah. There's this. Oh, okay. There's this guy who gets probably close to 50 to 60 pieces of mail every single day.
Like actual personal correspondence, or is it just like spam, or what's going on?
No, they're all from like Turning Point USA and like all of the Republican stuff. You know what I mean? Like all of them, right? Yeah.
John Birch Society mailers and stuff.
Yes, literally, yes. John Birch Society stuff. Like, yeah, like actually, like I literally saw like correspondence from David Duke, right? Like literally, right? Good. I was like, damn, dog, this is deep. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy.
He's been around for a minute.
Yeah,
times.
Like modern day Nazis don't know about him.
Who David Duke is? Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
it's
like these children don't know.
So like he gets these like 40 or 50 or 60 a day, right? He goes on vacation for like 3 weeks, right? Gone, and then he gets like a fucking tub, like a giant, like almost 4 or 5 tubs full of like mail. So I go, and normally I'm nice about this stuff, right? Oh, I forgot to. There's a part to this, anyways. I drop off all of this stuff at his house, and I leave the tubs behind because that's a nice person thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I'll pick them up next time. He drove all the way to my station and left an angry note about how I'm committing a felony by misusing mail property. And I was just like, dog.
A felony. He wanted your ass in prison.
In prison for being nice. And I was like, whatever. So but anyways, the other thing too is his name is Adolf.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I'm not joking. His name is, I don't want to dox my man, but his first name is Adolf, and he is a shithead. And he's asked me he's got this big giant lawn, and his mailbox is like right up next to his house. So I have to cross. I'm not gonna walk around his like side yard and go, and I cross his lawn, and every single time he's been like, "Don't step on my lawn," and I just completely ignore him. And I just
stay off the grass.
Yeah. He just like, get off my grass, and I don't listen to him. And then finally one day he was like, "Hey, you don't understand English?" He said that to me, and I turned around and said, "I don't take orders from people named Adolf." And then I just listen, dog. That's you can get into this if you want, but that's it, right? I could not, in good faith, listen to what you have to say. I'm sorry.
I feel like, dude. I feel like if you are a man named Adolf, you gotta
expect that.
You can't but I'm just saying, like, even if I was like a shitheel conservative guy or whatever. If my name was Adolf, I wouldn't be getting like John Birch Society mailers. That's just too on the nose. I would feel like a caricature if I was.
I feel like you have to you would have to have some like self-reflection. Like, all right, my name is Adolf. I need to like I need to like be better. I need to restore the brand. Turn my life around. Yeah.
Why? Why?
Do you ever hear this dude Adolf Hitler?
It's fucked up.
He's named after his grandfather, who's Argentinian.
Yeah, his Argentinian. That's a classic Argentinian name. No, he. The scariest thing about this guy is that he was a doctor. And I know that because he gets like all of the like medical journal stuff sent to him. And I'm like, dog, you were a doctor. Like, how are you this racist and a doctor? You killed people. You have blood on your hands. There's no way that you didn't kill somebody because you got their blood test back and you're like, this smells a little Jewish. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way, dude. You're fucking out of your mind, bro.
He died
name
in
is literally
surgery.
Adolf.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really, I hate that guy.
That story kind of reminded me of something I saw on like conservative Twitter going around a couple of weeks ago, where there was this male woman, and of course, like this plays a factor in why they were like making fun of her and like laughing. Is like she was a black woman, delivery. I think she worked for Amazon or something like that, and it was a similar situation where this guy apparently whatever house this was, he would get like 7 packages every day, and not just mail, like packages that you have to put on that like cart thingy because it's just so much. Like he gets so much shit, and there's a little step that she has to bring it up. Like he requests that like you bring it up the step, and it's a lot of packages. So one time it like collapsed, and she got like mad because it's like every day there's all these packages, and she like went up to the camera because there's a Ring camera, of course there is for one of these types of people, and she's like, "You gotta stop getting so many packages. Like, what are you doing with all of these? What is this?" And right-wing Twitter was like, she should be in jail. Like they were like dunking on her. Like this is assault. This is verbal assault. And it's just like these people are fucking maniacs.
My biggest fear is that I go viral for falling and tripping. The other day I cracked someone's door. I like broke their door because they had a messy, like they have a step that was made with bricks and the bricks were loose, and I stepped on it and just immediately fell forward, and I just put my elbow into this lady's door.
Oh
and
my
like
God.
she was home, thank God, because I would not have been able to leave a note. I'd be like, "Hey, I punched through your door." Right? Like, "Hey, my bad, I fell and punched through your door." But like I was like mortified because she like comes running because she thinks I'm trying to break into her house. And like I'm short, but I'm kind of a bigger guy. So I can see how terrified she would be of seeing me
Mm-hmm.
just like curly mustache,
Clown
like,
nose.
Clown nose.
clown nose. Yeah, like delivering the mail like a psycho. So she was just like, what's going on? I'm like, I tripped and fell. And then she just started laughing. Like, which I was like, you know what? I'm glad. That's the correct thing that you should be doing, is laughing at me. But yeah, I mean, like when you're out there, people have one of two reactions, which is like they are aware that your job sucks. And so they kind of treat you with like some kind of deference, or you're not human. You're a flesh
Yeah.
automaton. You know what I'm saying? And there is no
That's the
consideration.
treatler mindset. Those are the treatlers that think of it like that. You're just a robot service that will bring them their goodies and their packages.
Yeah, you're an extension of the Amazon like truck. You're not a person. You know what I'm saying? You're like a sentry drone that they use. But I don't know. So like in the mail, especially, the mail used to be a job you can have where you can kind of bullshit on the clock because you weren't being watched at all times. And then what happened is Amazon invented scanner technology that has
the scanner technology is evil. I used to briefly work for Amazon, and they keep track of like your package rates, everything, your movement. It's
if
fucking
you're stopped
insane
for too long, if you pee for too much, like
Yeah.
they have air mics on our scanners, so like they could tune in to listen to what we're doing. I don't know if they do or don't, but I know that that's possible, right? And like I don't know, dude. Like it changed the job. That invention changed the job, I think, for everybody, because now it's all about metrics, and you don't have time to get to know your customers. In a lot of ways, I think that's kind of why treatlerite dudes are like that, or like people are like that, because they don't get time to meet like people to see that they're, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't
You're
ever
cooking right now. Wait, yeah.
You're kind of like in this, and it's like it's literally the objective of it's a money thing, right? Like, so these big major companies at the end of the day, they just want to burn you out. They want to, like, because there's an army of people, especially like that, like with the economy the way that it looks right now, like there's just a revolving door of people who need work, and so the goal is to burn you out and only the psychos stay behind, right? And like in them burning you out, how they do that is they like constantly, we're watching you, we're on top of you, you need, this is these amount of packages in this amount of time. And while you're doing that, it's kind of training the public to like not see you as a person. They see you like moving constantly, like and they think to themselves like, oh yeah, no, that's normal. And that shit's not normal. I talked to old mailmen were like, dude, we used to hang out. Like we used to walk our routes. We would talk to people. We knew everybody. Nowadays, I don't know a single person on my route. Like I don't know anyone.
That's so depressing.
Man. It's extremely depressing.
I feel like that's how everything is now, though. Like
yeah.
My dad is like mostly retired. He was a pulmonologist. He used to have a practice on Long Island, and then he's a old Jewish guy, so he moved to Florida.
Of course.
Which is where all the old Jewish people go. But he talked about, even he practiced as a doctor for like 40 years basically. And it used to be the case that he would talk to his patients. It was his favorite part of his job. And then healthcare has become like, they try to get you in and out. If you go to a doctor's office now, you see the doctor for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
He used to hang out and be like, oh, talk to them about their lives and stuff. And like,
yeah,
it's just so awesome how everything gets worse all the time. I fucking get so sick.
It's that isolation. There is that like common thread that you both were talking about of like isolation between all aspects of like society, and especially work, especially with like with labor and work.
It's productivity it's real evil productivity shit, right? Like I saw this happen. I was at the vanguard of it, actually. It's my fault a little bit. I was a caterer for a long time, and I catered a lot of kitchens for like Uber, Google, Face or Meta back when it was Facebook, Twitch, all of these spaces, and like people were lulled into this sense of like, wow, they really care about us because they give us like, they're feeding us lunches. And I remember telling them, hey, they're doing that so that you don't leave, right? Because they want your productivity to spike. They want you to stay at a constant state.
Oh, you mean like putting food in like the like classic stereotype now of like, oh, you can go to work and you can get like, they have like full meals. You can like go
to company town.
Yeah, you can spend all day. You can even sleep there.
At Uber, they had breakfast, lunches, and dinners. They had laundry mat services, like a laundry room on site.
That's crazy.
They had hotelable beds. So you could hotel, like they call it hoteling, where you could get like, you can ask for a bed or you can reserve a bed, and they didn't let you stay 8 hours in a bed, but 5 hours was the maximum, right?
Oh
Which is
my
kind of
God.
telling, because that's kind of like, the least
Get
amount of
up and
sleep you
work.
need to be functional, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then on top of that, they also had like haircut services once a week. There was a guy, I can't remember I'm not going to say his name, but there was a guy that I had to like,
Goebbels.
I
His name was Goebbels.
yeah, his name was Goebbels. Yeah, no, how did you know? Did you know him, dude? You work at Uber, bro? No, there was a guy that I worked with that, like, well, I didn't work with him, but like he was one of the employees, and I was just like a contractor at the time. But he like literally hadn't gone home. He was paying like I think like $7,000 a month for this like flat in like this beautiful loft in San Francisco, like in downtown, and he hadn't been home in like 5 months. He had literally, because they were doing something, they were doing some scaling project with Uber. I can't remember. It was like when we were doing like hyper growth during that time, but he hadn't been home in 5 months.
That's
He had,
evil.
yeah, like he had ordered clothes in Amazon
Oh my
to
God.
like change his, you know what I mean, to change his wardrobe, and like he just did all his laundry there, and he hoteled a bed for 5 hours, and he hadn't been home in 5 months. And I remember him being like, yeah, he's like, we're pushing the product, I'm like, dog, you are a serf. You're a peasant.
We're
dog.
recreating
Like,
surf
actually,
mindset.
yeah, peasants actually lived better than you did, because they got to knock off work and then go drink at the bar with their homies, and you're here at the company bar that is in the office. Like,
And it's
you're
not
out
even
of your
free.
mind. Yeah, it's not,
It's not even free.
you have to
It's
pay
like
for this.
$20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
No, but
crazy.
I think there's like I don't know the specific moment like when this started, but like I feel like the trend under capitalism has always been to like maximize productivity, and that's just always been the case in America. And then there was like the invention of buying your own personal like gig slave, basically. Like you were like, oh, I can open this app and I can have someone deliver food. I don't
Well,
even
it's
have
not
to
even,
go to
dude.
this
It's
restaurant.
we're obviously going to be
I can,
focusing on a lot on food delivery tonight.
yeah.
But do you guys know what TaskRabbit is, where you can just hire a slave?
Brother,
Wait,
I
what?
know
What
what
do you-
TaskRabbit is.
time
I made I was living off of that.
Yeah, it's I did that shit for a little bit during like between
Wait, what
jobs
is-
during the pandemic. It was
What is
terrible.
this? I've never
have
heard
to,
of this.
I have to reveal something horrible.
Oh, we're gonna have to kill you, Lolo.
I just want to remind everyone that currently my full-time job is I am an immigration lawyer for poor people, so you're not allowed to be mad at me.
You've done the labor now. Yeah.
I've done the work. The first time I heard of TaskRabbit was several years ago. At this point, wow, it was 2015. 2015.
Oh, so this
yeah.
is old. This is an older
10
thing.
years
Okay.
ago. 9 or 10 years ago, and I was working at a company in San Francisco called Google. And yeah, that's right. I'm one of the treatlers. And one of my colleagues used TaskRabbit. We went to the beach out in San Francisco, and there are these like fire pits out there that when it gets warmer, they're hot commodities because people want to like make a fire and be at the beach and like whatever. And we got there. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. How did you get this? This is a great spot. And this guy that I worked with was like, oh, I just paid this guy on TaskRabbit and he stood here for 6 hours.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I've done that.
Wait, so
I've been
is it
there.
just like Fiverr?
Brother, I've been
Is it like
It's like Fiverr but
for-
real life. You can hire people to do
Oh.
anything. If you never heard of
Literally
TaskRabbit,
anything.
Anything.
Literally anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually
That's
very difficult
insane.
manual labor, by the way.
Also, like,
I've never heard of
TaskRabbit-
this before. What the
TaskRabbit
fuck?
takes an insane cut from you. I remember one time helping this like old elderly lady move. Like El Sobrante, this doesn't mean anything to anyone that's outside of the Bay Area, but San Jose to El Sobrante that's a whole day to get between these two areas. Those are like two separate like countries essentially, right? They're just so far away. And like, so this lady was moving from San Jose to El Sobrante. She needed a guy with a truck to help her move stuff. I moved all of her things, And after gas and everything and TaskRabbit's cut, I had made after about, I want to say 9-10 hours of work of like hard manual labor, I made $16.
Oh my
Jesus
fucking god! So this is modern Adolf Hitler, basically.
That was
He's
just, well,
back.
I
Welcome
felt
back,
awful.
Adolf Hitler.
I felt horrible. I didn't want to like complain to that old woman because she was just like, "Oh, I found out about this from my grandson," and I'm like, "You financially ruined me. Like, I'm going. I needed to pay rent with this. Yeah, I needed to pay rent with this Mima, and I'm now going to live in the streets. Thank you for that." Right? I used the last bit of my gas.
Yeah. Apparently, like, I was reading about this. Post Malone, like, would spend tens of thousands of dollars a month on TaskRabbit. You guys hear about this?
No.
No,
What the fuck
wait,
for?
what do you mean?
I don't know
what
how.
do you
Like, how
spend?
could you, like, for what?
Yeah, what could you possibly be doing on there?
He
that
probably just had people doing like this exact thing where it's like, oh, go wait at this place, or
Yeah.
like bring me this specific thing.
Yeah,
often? Bring me a
yeah.
shark carcass.
Yeah, it
You
sucks,
have
dude.
to go find a shark for me.
It's mostly
I-
like people like, you know, help me move or something like that if you have a truck
Yeah.
or something like that. But then there's
I
like,
taught this kid how to ride a bike, and that was pretty cool.
that's actually fucking sick. I would do
Yeah,
that.
so-
That sounds
some-
really nice.
No, it was some rich asshole, and he's like, "Oh, play with my son."
Oh,
Because I-
oh no, okay, that makes it sound a
that
lot
sucks.
worse.
I thought that
Yeah,
was
it
a
was-
cool
Oh my
story.
god!
Really shit. I was like, "Hey, dude, like, hey, listen, you know how to ride a bike now? Run as fast as you can."
I hate my wretched, odious son. Play
Yeah.
catch with him for me.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
It was
real.
Don Jr.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, no. So I feel like there's just there's like a convergence of all of these things coming together, like the convenience apps, all of these things, like productivity in society, isolation. Go on, Caleb.
Yeah. I just want to get to kind of the article and some of the basis for some of the things that we're going to be talking about for the rest of this episode. Because, like, okay, you know, the treatler discourse is a whole separate thing from like what we've been talking about. When it turns out somebody like they'll every fucking angle that you could possibly come at this from. But there are like, you know, different kinds of politics at play. There's like class politics, there's gender politics, there's disability politics, and that's a big one that I kind of want to hit on because that's an angle that happens a lot, and I think that it's probably worth stating that, like, when we joke about this stuff, like especially like food delivery and things like that, like I think that you're kind of exempt from criticism. Like if you're a disabled person, like the jokes that we're making aren't really like, they're not about you, right? I think we can all kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
no,
got
definitely.
I got a quick little story about that. Actually,
Yeah, go
about
for it.
like so.
Because I got to figure out how to get behind this paywall. I didn't do that.
I got
before
you.
the episode.
When I first started when you started in the post office, you started something called a PTF, which means part-time flexible, which essentially just means you're a slave for the like federal government. Like you do not get time off. You work 6 days a week. You don't know what your schedule is, and you don't know what your route is going to be, and it can just be anything and everything. And they had me working these really fucked up Sunday shifts where they would start me at 10 p.m. or no 10 a.m. and I wouldn't get off of work until 11 p.m. the next, like really early, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'd have
Yeah.
to go home and then start at 6 the next day on Monday. And it was just brutal. And I had been working for like almost 4 weeks straight. I was like losing my mind. And this lady got like it had to be like a 200-pound like box, like a giant crate that took up most of the space in my LLV. And I was pissed because I didn't know what it was. And I was like literally just cursing her name. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to deliver it first. I'm not going to do my rest of my route. I'm just going to deliver it first so I can look at this lady because I just want to see her. I want her to see me struggling to put this on her lawn. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want that.
Yeah.
And I go and I'm like literally struggling and I'm, you know, I'm like moving it around and I finally get it and I ring her doorbell. And the worst part is it needs a signature. And that's awful. Like if you're gonna make me lift 250 pounds and then make me ask for a signature, you know what I'm saying? Fuck all the way off. I was so mad. I was so angry, and I was about to lay into her. And like, I get to her house, and it's got a ramp. It's got like an accessibility ramp, and then I like realized that like this box is not just a box. It's like something bigger than a box. and I see this lady, and she comes out, like she answers the door, and she's got the most fucked up walker I've ever seen, like the most jacked up, fucked up walker, and like it's like rickety and like rusty, and I see her coming to the door, and then she goes, "Oh, that's my mobility scooter," and she goes, "I've been waiting for like months." She goes like, "I haven't been able to get out of my house because like I've been stuck here. I've been waiting to like, I've been waiting to like, get out of my house and then have a good time." And like she goes, I used to drive down to the 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee and then, walk around and like, now I can do that again. And like, I went from being like the most mad I've ever been to like giving it to her and then go to my LV, and I was just crying. I was just bawling. And I was like, I gave that lady her life back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, damn, like I got to be a part of that. And I'm like, I hate this stupid ass job, but I'm here for life, dude. If I can be part of that at least once or twice in my whole life, then it makes the job worth it. And like, there's a lot of empathy and like, there's a lot of empathy out there when you're working in delivery or in like these kind of positions. The thing is that you don't remember the empathy often. You remember the worst shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You remember a guy named Adolf telling you don't cross his lawn. You know what I'm saying? That's what sticks out in your mind. And like, in all honesty, like
the two genders.
Yeah. In all honesty, like a lot of the alienation, a lot of the disconnect between people is like just this lack of overall empathy. And it's because like people can't see, especially like treatlerites, the biggest treatlerite issue. This is like, I feel bad for them, even though they are shit heels, but I do feel bad for the people that are so wrapped up in my treats and give me my things, because they don't see it the way that their brain works. The way that they're seeing it is that like I paid for something and it's your job to provide a service, and you're not upholding your end of the bargain.
Yeah, they don't see you. I mean, that's the part where it's like they don't see workers, people that make less than them, like wage slaves, basically, as human.
They're not seeing the fact is that we didn't get any of the money. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're just doing a job. You're like, you're not
the guys.
There's no transaction. Yeah.
DoorDash is.
If you're pissed off that DoorDash takes too long, it's because DoorDash makes you take 2 or 3 orders at a time. Like,
yes,
that's just how it works. You to be, and that's the only way to make money, because you only make like fucking $4 per order if you're lucky.
Literally, when I was, I didn't have a job like 3 years ago for like 6 months, a 6-month period, and I did Grubhub delivery, which is like basically DoorDash.
I did. Usually you do more than one at once just to make it when you're doing that. I did Uber Eats.
Absolutely.
It's so funny.
That was my experience too. Was like you made nothing if you didn't take every order that came your way. You had to do that.
It's so funny to be, because when I didn't have a job, what I used to do is I just stood out in front of Home Depot and would just do the the Home Depot guy jobs. And like it's because I'm Mexican, so I can do it, and I speak.
My God.
I don't speak bad. My Spanish is terrible, but my English is much better. So I would just go and work. And then like I would do these jobs, and like honestly, I was getting, my homies were like, dude, why don't you just work for DoorDash? Why don't you just work for, and I was like, you guys are making $6 a day. I'm making 400. Like, you're out of your mind, bro. Like, this is actually good work. It just sucks. It's hard. Like,
you at least can make some money. Doing manual labor for a construction company or whatever fucking blows ass. I've done that too. But at least you actually are paid. Like the guys that are hiring you probably did that job at one point, so they're gonna fuck you a lot, but they're not gonna completely fuck you.
Yeah. You still will get paid, and you won't get paid in like Dash bucks.
Yeah, no shit, right?
That are only redeemable on the app. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So
my fucking God.
Okay. On that note of like empathy and kind of the human aspect of this, and then how I believe that we should really reframe some of our thinking about this when we're talking about disabled people. This is an article that comes from themighty.com. It's from Renee Fabian, and it's this, by the way, the way that I found this was, all the way back in 2020. I think we reviewed treatlerite discourse because that word was invented fairly recently. We reviewed this as like a recent thing. But pretty much since these apps have come out, there's been discourse about them. This was like the earliest trend of like a viral story happening about this. Okay. It reads, disability advocate Imani Barbarin faces ableist backlash for calling out delivery driver who couldn't come to her door. Now, basically, do you guys have this pulled up?
I don't, because it brings up the thing, but I looked at some of the screenshots in this and I remember this. I remember watching this happen on Twitter like 5 years ago. This is over 5 years ago now.
Yeah,
this is crazy. This is right before the pandemic, like the lockdowns, I think.
Yeah, this is like 2 months before we all got stuck inside and decided that we hated each other. So she posts, I guess this is the type of ableist bullshit you have to deal with when using at DoorDash. Hashtag delivering ableism. And it's a screenshot of a text message that she had that's her DoorDash driver saying, "Hey, this is your DoorDash driver. I'll be there in 3 minutes. I'll meet you in the lobby of building X." And she responds and says, "I'm disabled. I'll need you to come to apartment blank." And he says, "I cannot leave my car in a fire lane." And she says, "I need you to come upstairs. I'm in pain and cannot go downstairs at the moment. You should be fine." And then he doesn't respond. So she says, "Just drop it off at the front desk then." And then he says, "Food's at the front desk." And then she responds, if you're unable to accommodate disabled people, you should get another gig. I'll be reporting this interaction to DoorDash." And he responds, "I can't park illegally. I just had a $300 ticket." So now we have an interesting cross section of, this is the crux of the entire discourse, right? Who's right? Who's wrong?
This
here?
is COINTELPRO. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
This is like the very basic COINTELPRO of like,
this is interclass.
Should be on each other's side.
Yeah, the CIA saw this in 2020. They started salivating. The
CIA stands for crack, Instagram, and AIDS, and that's what they gave all of us, right? That's what they have been keeping us down with these fucking. Dude, I'm telling you right now though, but like for real, this is the shit that makes me lose my mind, because like no one is in the what is in the wrong here?
DoorDash is in the wrong here.
The mayor actually. For collecting fines from people from getting parked illegally. You should be able to park illegally. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
At least for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, for a couple of minutes, you should get a slide on that.
Well, you can if you're a New York City police officer.
Yeah.
Shit, we gotta get some of the rates they have. Fuck.
I mean, the article kind of goes on to explain that she goes, and it's not. This was later, several days later, she posted an update to it because she got. I mean. She's a disability advocate and then a black woman. So, you're not going to have a good time on X the Everything app, Blaze Your Glory, right? Very, very racist comments and everything and ableist. She does a couple of days later post a couple pictures of like the parking lots in her apartment building or apartment complex from her window, saying that the guy chose to park in a fire lane. We don't know, obviously, if they were full when he got there. It's tough to say. But this is just one of those things, like, and so it goes on just to kind of talk about how like DoorDash itself needs to be more accommodating to the Americans with Disability Act. She feels that her rights were violated and stuff like that. So, like, I kind of think that they're both right. Like, I don't think that that's like a thing that you report an individual driver for necessarily.
Yeah,
but like, she's
because like these people.
She's got a point,
because like she does. I mean, especially because like the reason it's like not the driver's fault is like okay, like you report it to DoorDash and they like fire this guy and then they just get another guy to replace him
without
like,
giving him any sort of training. Because like, here's the thing, you've done this job.
He's useless to them as a company.
Like, you only have so many minutes at each stop that you're allowed to like literally to do. So if he gets to one of these parking lots, even if he can find a parking space, apartment buildings especially in the city fucking suck to deliver to, because it's like, okay,
oh god, yeah,
I'm getting paid fucking if you tip whatever you tip plus like $2.50. So I have 2 other orders or whatever sitting in my car. So I have to park and then walk, and then maybe you'll buzz me in and I got to go up an elevator or several flights of stairs or whatever to your apartment complex and go back down and blah, 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 blah. If there even is a fucking space available, if it's not fucking street parking and I got to park 3 blocks away. I did that shit all the time. It sucks. Right, yeah. Like it's not a sustainable thing. It's not like it's just not like
it legit would not suck so bad if you got paid fairly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you have an hourly wage where you're not like, I got to get like, you're doing the fucking grind set math. I got to send out fucking however many orders during the busy time because you can clock in whenever, but nobody's ordering food after the dinner or whatever. You know what I mean?
And I don't know how it is recently. The last time I delivered for any of these apps was, I believe, 2021 or 2022. I can't remember the exact year, but they don't pay you. The app DoorDash or Grubhub do not pay you a minimum wage.
No, of course
they
not.
They pay
some
below.
Cities now, in some cities, they have city ordinances where they have to pay you a minimum wage while you're clocked in. But like, no, in most cases, it's not. Like, I think Seattle has one. I think New York has one. I'm not sure where else, but some of the major cities do. But a lot of people do not get that. So you are literally like, $250 to $350 times 10 orders during the dinner rush, and that's what you make plus whatever people generously decide to tip you, minus your gas, minus tolls, which are a real thing. My first day on the job, I got sent over. You don't get to see if you have any tolls, by the way. You just accept an order or not for the amount of money.
God, Jesus.
So I ended up going like 30 minutes away plus a toll, and they were mad that their order was late, so they didn't tip me. So I actually lost like $5.
Welcome to TaskRabbit, dog. That's
those deliveries that make you lose money. I saw red. Like I had like maybe 2 of those ever on the like 3 months that I did this, and it makes you see red. You're fuming. You're like, what the fuck? Like, why am I even doing this? Like, what is the point of this?
Yeah.
When you lose money on these,
it fucking sucks.
Love of the game.
You're doing it just because you like to listen to.
I just fucking love delivering.
DoorDash is a great job if you just like driving around and getting pissed off at racist podcasts. That's what you should do. You should do that job.
So you're saying that I should
Joe Rogan on?
Is what you're saying is I should pivot.
I just love smelling other people's food.
I mean, the article kind of goes on where they talk about this a little bit more. I think we get the gist of it where it's just like, to my mind, it's like, okay, again, to reiterate, like if you're disabled, I think that all the jokes and the discourse that people are mostly talking about, I don't think that you are if you're disabled and you depend on these services, you are not a treatlerite.
Right.
But there is kind of, where the crux of the issue is.
Also, like, there's much larger things at hand in the sense of like, ability is purely temporary. Your ableness is legitimately, for everyone, is legitimately temporary.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's at any. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I would note I know Amani.
Oh, you do?
This person? Yeah, I do. And I think she's a great, I think she's a very effective disability advocate, generally speaking. I think that this thing just morphed into something really horrible.
Well, I think it left her sphere, her target audience, right?
Yeah, and I think also she was frustrated, right? Like in this situation,
sure.
Disabled people are yes, that it's one of those things where it's like there's valid frustrations, but it's both. It's like this poor guy who's just like, Jesus Christ, can I get my $3? And the problems of the United States are put on this fucking random guy's back.
These two random people. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are extremely complex social issues in the sense of we should live in a society where people who are abled and people who are disabled
get their treats.
No, not just equally. He's not even get their treats, but be able to
equity of the treats.
Equity of treats. No, because that gets into real third world shit where it doesn't matter that India is cooking itself, right? As long as I get all of my cheap shit from Bangladesh, I could give a fuck, pal. No. But you have to be aware that these two people are being pit against each other by massive layers of fucking corporate interest.
Yeah, dude.
That are built up on this kind of suffering and discourse, right? This kind of stuff is what this is. People, no matter what, everyone but these two people are getting paid. You know what I'm saying? The X, the Everything app is getting money from people being driven into arguing. This is where this is why I am a schizophrenic.
How much did that fucking South African pedophile make for running ads on this, right?
Legitimately, yeah, right? And there's it's so much everyone gets fucking paid but you is very much like the mindset of people now. You know what I'm saying?
I would
Like,
probably argue that Elon is losing money on it too, to be fair.
That's what kids are calling
you're completely right though, Marcos.
yeah.
There are a couple of other earlier examples of like you skip forward a few years. There was the one that it kind of made me laugh as a former dasher or whatever. Where it's a screenshot of a woman named Raven, and she says, "Is DoorDash not delivery anymore?" Or question mark. And it's a screenshot of a conversation with her driver, and the guy saying, "Ma'am, you have to open the gate." And by the way, for context here, I believe that she is very selectively showing parts of the conversation because this was not his first message to her. There's no fucking way. He had to have at least called her before this. And, ma'am, you have to open the gate. She says, "Opening now." She says, "I'm outside a red car." She says, "Department 116. And he says, "Okay, come get it." Which, I mean, like, to say that, he's probably like, fuck you. He's probably late. He's probably been calling her. Like, I just know that because I've been in his shoes. And that's like the early 2024 discourse that really like got the DoorDash shit going. And then of course there's the disability angle and all that stuff that's like obviously related, but probably not what like most people who critique the stuff are talking about, like we'd said. And then it gets into where the it's Posting Forever, mutual of I think a lot of ours coined the term treatlerite. And that's where, you know, where the name comes from. Do we want to read some more of the we're rounded home. Should we just kind of read some of the best ofs that we've got here?
Yeah, let's I think
one of the fun ones, there was the LA fires recently were horrifying and devastating. Yeah. One thing that they did was they brought out a lot of it's like drawing worms to the surface. Like, you know what I mean? The treatlerites really had a field day with the LA fires. Here's a post.
This is fucking insane.
Are you reading this?
Is this a turn of the earth?
You go ahead and read. Lolo, read it.
Fucking God.
I forgot you guys could see the document.
Okay. Oh, first of all, they're a Supernatural fan. They have a picture of Castiel from Supernatural. If you're a big Supernatural fan,
yeah,
that takes one to know one. It sounds like
listen. Listen, all right. Love me some Jensen Ackles. Jared Padalecki.
Look,
okay?
I'm not judging. I've seen 2 episodes of the show. It's wonderful. I'm not judging.
It's great. First 5 seasons are great. Then I think it falls. All right. Anyway. Anyone else? Eric Kripke left after season 5, folks, and then it all was downhill from there. Anyone else postponing their trip to Disneyland this weekend because of the terrible fires?
Oh.
It gets so much worse. It's also tagged Disneyland. This is the best. Also, it's great because this person is definitely 38 years old. I wrote, "I kind of got the ick in going there while everyone's houses are burning down. Sort of a buzzkill and might affect.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Might affect the magic of the trip for me to see everyone all sad and stuff."
Oh my fucking God!
I just gotta say,
incredible
Disney
wording.
adults
that's
are
so good.
The biggest treatlerites. There is
This
no
is
bigger.
They are.
This is a 38-year-old white woman named Michaela who has a visible gum line.
Yeah,
and there's like 2 Y's in there somehow.
She works in human resources, is secretly racist, even though she like has
not secretly.
Like a Facebook.
There's nothing. Ain't no secret about. Yeah, ain't no secret.
She
about
probably
Michaela's
had the
racism.
Black Lives Matter Facebook filter, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
which is also racist.
Yeah.
She's fine with Lando Calrissian being in Empire Strikes Back, but she's just glad that he'll never be a Jedi.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve that.
Let her ass see my name on a resume. Skip.
There is, and I tried to find the next one that I'm going to read if you scroll down, or I'll let one of you guys read it. I tried to find the op-ed that this was from, but I just ran out of time. But
I'll read this one.
Yeah, do this one, June.
So this is so is this a description of the author? Is that what this? Hold on,
no,
I'll
this
just read
is just
it.
the opening of an op-ed.
Oh, okay,
by
Jesus.
Elizabeth
All
Taft.
right. All right, so it says Bryce Wagoner, which is an awesome last name, Bryce Waggoner, a director who lives in Hollywood Heights in the evacuation area, stepped onto his third-floor balcony to see the Hollywood Hills ablaze in the distance. Helicopters carrying water churned overhead and sirens blared. He planned to monitor the situation and leave if the fire seemed to become more of a threat. He was waiting for a $300 Amazon Fresh delivery that was still scheduled to arrive in about an hour.
God
He's like standing on his porch looking at the fires in the distance, and there's just a car, an Amazon truck coming from
he's
the
looking
fire.
He's looking at it on the map, and it's like driving in the opposite direction. He's like, well, why is he going in the opposite direction?
That's not where my house is at all.
Wait, he's fleeing for safety. What the fuck?
Oh
God.
me.
I actually changed my mind. All right, I actually feel awful for treatlerites.
Why?
These people
They're trapped. They're trapped in this
yeah,
mindset.
they're stuck in they really are stuck in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like they cannot get out. Their entire lives revolve around their treats. And like that's sadder than some, you know what I mean?
Consumption as identity is always such a dead end. I don't always phrase it this way, but you've nailed something that we talk about on the show a lot, Marcos. Like gamers as an identity, consumption as identity. It just turns you wicked. I don't know, man.
Because the entirety of your identity is based upon human suffering. It is required. It is needed. It's necessary for you to get to look at your little treats on your little treat desk and be like, I did it. I made it. This is me.
I'm not the one manufacturing the treats. I am consuming the treats.
And like,
I am better.
In a lot of ways, like, listen, it sucks that y'all were DoorDashers making $3 an hour, but you are still making $3 an hour. These guys got paid money to be disappointed in their consumption of a thing.
Yeah, I don't order delivery too often. And whenever I do, it's always like so disappointing. It's so like you paid fucking $40 for Taco Bell, and it's like, I don't blame the people, by the way, but it's like cold and stale and shitty. It's like, man, the fuck did I just do?
The American project is seeing how much people will pay for some shit that sucks. Right. And that's the entirety of it. And like we are now living in the consequences of that. You know what I'm saying? Like our whole shit is, you know, and like the thing about consumption, the end game of consumption, it's all pain. It's pain all the way down, right? And it's like, it's because, I mean, if you want to get real schizo about it, it's because there's a lack of like overall identity that requires you to test your mettle on something. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't think that's schizo. I think it's because, like, you know, when your whole identity is consuming, it's about it's not about like it's only about yourself. It's just about things that you like and things that you like to own and just have around you. If it's like, you know, Funko Pops or whatever the fuck. But so it's like a very inward facing like mindset, I guess.
It doesn't require the other. Like, I mean, like, for example, take me, my moniker, my brand online is the homie. The homie is not singular. The homie requires other homies to recognize him as a homie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a mailman. I see myself as a mailman. A mailman is not measured by like how much mail gear he has. A mailman is measured by, you know, how many people he helps by delivering the mail. You know, I place a lot of my own personal identity, not in myself, but in the hands of like how many people I can physically and like, you know, not physically see and better and enrich their lives. And in a lot of ways, I'm a fucked up monster man that's online. Like my brain is fucked up. Don't be like me at all. But I am very much comfortable with who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I have a purpose. I feel it more than most people. I hear you. And
absolutely. Can I read one of this next? Oh, did you want this one?
Which one were you looking at?
The Ian one. The quote tweet, the Treatler mindset. Okay.
Hit it. And then I'll round home with the one below that.
Okay. So this says, should I read the quote tweet first? Or
read the quote tweet first.
Okay, so this reads, Treatler mindset. What if a scary ethnic man shows up with your food instead of a nice European white woman? And the quote says, sorry, but do you know how scary it is expecting a Polish blonde lady to be delivering your food to your house only for a man to turn up to your address with your food delivery, especially if you live alone and it's late at night? Like I remember this one. It's like I'm sorry, like just don't use delivery services then. I'm sorry. Like,
if you're
can't
scared of a
choose.
man dropping a bag of treats off at night on your house, don't do it. Nobody forced you to do that.
It's not like you have to talk to these people. Like very often you do not ever have to. There are options on these apps for I don't want to see them. Like there's just drop it off. Like
drop it off. I don't want to see.
ways.
I don't want to see the face of my shame. You know what I mean?
Like they have designed ways for you, to just have no contact, at least human contact preferable. It's built into these systems at this point.
Yeah,
but imagine me with like some shades on, like some circle shades, a clown nose, sharp teeth. You know
that would be funny.
Yeah,
that would be sick as hell. I pulled this one from which, by the way, if you're at all interested in this, if you are a current or former treat deliverer, I think that you should check out the DoorDash driver subreddit where I pulled this one from. But to your point, June, yes, there are very easily mechanisms in the app that you can use to not see the peasants that you deign to talk to get your treats from. And this is something that a DoorDash driver had posted from their end of the app, and it's a no contact delivery, and it has the drop off instructions. Leave it at the door. I have a dog and a newborn, so do not knock on my door. By sending the photo and hitting the done notifies me plenty. If you haven't figured this out yet, quit and find a new job. It's simple common sense. All caps. Place food not directly in front of door. Door can't open if food's blocking. Defeats purpose. In the nicest possible way. If this is a hard concept to follow, go to Indeed.com and start again.
Oh my fucking God.
I gotta tell you, dude.
This is peak Treatler.
I gotta tell you, I got shit like this all the time when I was delivering.
Oh my God.
I'll also say this: if you're in a position ever, if you like are between jobs or you're just hard up and you want to do this, I thought I was like being clever, and I drove to like the rich town nearby that has like all the Hitlers that work at the tech place or whatever to do my delivering, thinking that they have money, they'll tip me. Fucking wrong.
No,
go to the poorer places. They will tip you way fucking better. I'm not making that up. You'll get instructions like this, and then they just won't tip you, and you'll drive 40 minutes because it's nothing but fucking urban sprawl, and you'll get $3, and then you'll get yelled at, and then you'll get like a 1-star review because you were 6 minutes late.
I have like an inside baseball of why Googlers don't tip. Right, it's a thing. It's a tech workers don't tip, and it's because they get so much free shit that it never occurs to them that other people don't get free shit.
Oh God. That makes
tech people get so much
I'm sorry,
free
tech
shit.
people. Like you can work in tech and you're like, you don't have to necessarily be evil. But if you're like
there's like a ton of tech people that listen to the show and they're like in our community and stuff. But I think most of them would agree with what Marco said. That was like
I'm not talking about like
tech worker or something.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a guy who like does back end coding for like a mom and pop, or like even like if you work for Google as one of the like.
You're talking about Sam Altman, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I mean, there's just a kind of guy that
Yeah.
thinks that he is like, I mean, there's so many, and we could wax poetic about that for a fucking hour of just like the super special computer boy who thinks that he is literally like, I don't know, above.
If you have a letter in your title, you don't have a real job. If your job is like CTO, CFO, MMO, MRL, TSO, any of those, your job is not real. Your job is false. Your job is you answer emails. You don't do anything else, right?
Yeah.
God. Okay, that's a good place to end it.
If you don't mind letting me indulge for just 1 second, I did just want to name what I think is the largest treatler like zone in the world right now. Like I've been thinking.
Oh my God! Yeah, we were talking about this before. Let's do it. Sorry.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think Dubai is like the special treatler
DoorDash,
zone.
but you're bringing somebody a cheetah.
Yeah, I watched like a couple of months ago now. I've just been like obsessed with Dubai over a couple of months because so me and my roommate ended up watching this video a while ago. I don't remember how it came up, but she was like, she just put on like this random Dubai like tourist, but he like lives there review. So there's this like white guy from Michigan that like lives in Dubai most of the time, and we watch this shit, and it's like the way that he talked about Dubai, and he's like, yeah, you can just have yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah. And so this guy is like, yeah, you can just have like the building workers come and take your laundry and they'll wash it for you and bring it back to you.
Literal slaves, by the way.
Yeah,
Literal slaves.
Yeah.
Because like Dubai, half the economy is like slaves, basically, like from India, like people that make next to no money, just like poor.
Do you know how that works
too,
by the way, where they fly them out there and then they'll just like take their passports and won't let them leave?
I got a little something crazier that happens is the Philippines, the government of the Philippines is so fucking corrupt that, and this is like I hate it that I share a namesake with him, but it's Marcos. It's a guy named Bongbong Marcos. He's the president of the Philippines. He's like the son of the ex Marcos Philippine president.
Oh God.
There's a long line of Marcoses in the Philippines that are not cool. I'm like, it sucks.
They give you a bad name.
They give me
it's the Adolf situation.
Name.
You're restoring the brand.
Yeah, I'm trying to restore the brand. And I got up.
These people would never be the homie.
But anyways, these people, or what they do is they contract literally workers out because the Filipino economy is kind of non-existent. They contract workers out of the country into other countries like Dubai and America to work like service jobs, and they take upwards of 90% of your income and ship it back to themselves, right? And like it's horrific. It's like indentured servitude, but you're not getting out as long as.
And Dubai is like the center of this.
Yeah, Dubai fucks
like,
with it heavily. Yeah, Dubai loves
they
that.
love it.
Dubai's like, dude, send more, dude.
But no, if you want to like be completely doomer pilled about like the state of like that sort of like workings of global capitalism, just like search Dubai, like people that live in Dubai, like specifically white people that clearly are like finance people. Because this guy that watched the video from, he's like this finance guy. So it's like you will become. Like your life will be changed watching some of these people talk about, oh, Dubai is great. I wake up every day and I have a meal planted outside my door already. Wow, this is beautiful. This is crazy. I love this place. And it's so bleak. And I've just been obsessed with it. Basically, I just wanted to bring it up because I've been just focused on it so much, and I want to talk about Dubai more because it's so fucking evil. Dubai is an evil land.
That shit works both ways in a fucked up way. You should get doomer pilled, sure, but also you should realize that these people are like financial. They're putting their souls at hazard. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are essentially giving away their humanity, and they're financializing the human soul, the human spirit. You know what I'm saying?
They are impure beings.
They're turning themselves into like, I am a pure being of commodities and profit, and like I serve the shareholders. I don't have a humanity, and like at that point, like these people are so alien, and their lives are sad. You know what I'm saying? There's probably way more camaraderie in the like slave quarters that they have under Dubai, like people hanging out and vibing, way more than there is the dudes who are like, you know, the treatlerites that are like lonely and like sitting up in their glass cages. Like you should feel bad for them too. Like you should despise them, but also you should realize that their life sucks. You shouldn't idolize it. You should look at it like,
absolutely.
I can't wait to get there. Yeah, that sucks.
It destroys me like watching some of these videos. I'm like, what? This is I never ever like, it's so bad. It's so bleak.
You know who recently went to Dubai?
Oh, please tell me, is it Mr. Beast?
Friend of the show, Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast.
No. Wait, what did he do there? Oh my god.
I think he probably
I hired 1,000 slaves.
Yeah, he was like, "This is what 10,000 slaves can build." He was like, "What can one slave versus 100 versus 10,000 do?"
They did the slave games where one slave was going to get his freedom. Like, they could put 10,000 slaves in a box. One of them gets their freedom. Like,
I think he did the classic. Like, I think he went on top of the Burj Khalifa and like, just like soy face the whole time.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like people like him in this instance are like go to Dubai and they like soy face, they pog out at everything there. And it's like building
a real beach. They made it.
Like, whoa,
wow!
And it gives it's like treats are worth it, and it's like trying to prop up this idea of like Dubai as I don't know. It's just all bleak and goes to serve capital at the end of the day.
It all encapsulates our just gluttonous obsession in the same way that people, some random guy in Michigan who hasn't been outside in 6 months can order, 12 packages a day. Jimmy can go and be like, they have a mountain inside, and in order to make the indoor ski resort run, they have to kill they have to kill 10,000 polar bears every day.
It's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever like bother you to ask you to use your connections for Western Kabuki, Lolo. But I am going to bother you. Will you please ask Mr. Beast to come on the show?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, I'll ask him to come on.
Yeah, ask him. And remind him of his former beef with June. Remember that, June?
Yeah.
He was really upset with you too over nothing.
Do you know about that, Lolo? Yeah. Did you see like the beef him and I directly had? He like DM'd me at one point. Like he was like,
yeah, he cares so much about his image. He DMs, dude.
He was like, we got to talk about this.
Chocolate. It was about the chocolate.
It was the chocolate, but it was like there was a few other instances where it was like that was not the first inciting incident that we had together. But ultimately, he reached out to me about the chocolate one. Yeah,
the Mr. Beast bars actually, I want to give him a little bit of props for them because he broke my chocolate addiction. Because they were so fucking vile and I was capable of like, man, I don't fuck with chocolate as much as I used to. No, dude, like they were so fucking vile and horrific, and like if it wasn't stale, then it was like it smelled like it had been in someone's ass. Like they were, I don't understand. The chocolates themselves were of such poor quality that they were like, I remember opening up one. Do you know what a like, there's like something called the chocolate bloom that you get?
Oh,
like
yeah,
old chocolate,
yeah.
like that bloom of like white crust on it.
Yeah.
It was all the way through on the inside, which I thought was impossible because it needed to be exposed to air. So I was like, how the fuck? Yeah. I've literally I bought like a on sale it was like 60 bars from a Costco. They were like, I bought 60 bars for $10 and I was like, I'm gonna eat all of these son of a bitches, and like I got through 30 of them and I threw them away and I was like, yeah, I
like that it took you till 30 to be like, all right, man, I don't know about these.
Here's the thing, eating them was like, this sucks, this is gonna break my chocolate addiction, and it did. Like
I will say, so I actually had a Mr. Beast bar at one point too, because I tried the like Lunchly thing and you get a Mr. Beast bar in those, and I ate the chocolate and I'm like, you remember when you were like a kid and you had that like one aunt or something that like always got you like the worst type of something? It's like, oh, I didn't get like, this isn't a Hershey's, this is a chocolate candy. Yeah, this is chocolate candy brand, and it's just like the worst chocolate. It's like, that's what Mr. Beast bars taste like, is that like off-brand like 2-cent chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't agree. I think it's delicious, Jimmy.
Come on the show, Jimmy. I'll eat one live.
Listen, I'm giving you props because thank you for helping me break my chocolate addiction, dog. That's honestly as miraculous as giving 1,000 people sight, because I'm a big boy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
Marcos, what do you got to plug?
You know what? I have been streaming on Twitch, Aintershow. I have a YouTube channel that I post all my podcast, the Ain't Shit Show, on. I also want to shout out some of my homies that have been releasing music and doing really cool things. My homie Watermelon Seltzer on SoundCloud. The RFTB podcast.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Friends
shout
of the
out.
show.
Yeah, I love Dono and Audrey.
We got to meet Dono in Chicago. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. They rock so much.
Oh yeah.
I just want to, honestly, shouts out to all the homies. There's a guy right now in my Discord that's reciting the Aeneid in Greek, and I want to tune in. I like the entirety of it, so I'm gonna go tune into that. But the homie Discord, there's always some insane shit happening in there, so you should join. It's very fun. It's Anyways, all right.
Sick.
Amazing. Go check out Marcus's stuff.
We do have. I would get killed if I didn't give some update on this, because people DM me and email the show and ask, what's up with the chiral mindset? Well, I think what happened was Christmas was really busy for Marcos as a mailman, and we realized that there was so much research that was going to need to go into this that we kind of got a little whatever. And then like my personal life for the last few months has just like fallen apart completely, which things are good now, of course, everything's good. But chiral mindset. I think we're going to try and record a week from tomorrow. Again.
Yeah, we're back on. And I think it's going to be more fun focused, because a lot of the news has doom spiraled me out. I'm wearing a fucking clown nose right now.
I love how we're going to start a conspiracy podcast that we're not going to take seriously. Then we start with like the craziest one.
Yeah, we honestly got to retool it. We got to do
it was the dumbest idea to start with the octopus, and it made me want to kill myself relearning about all that, by the way.
Yeah, so we're making it fun this time around, guys.
I got so weird. I was like fucking chain smoking, staying up till 3 a.m, reading all this shit just while my life is spiraling out of control. I was like, how could this happen? How could this be?
I was listening to C-SPAN for 5 hours a day.
Oh, like 1970s C-SPAN, by the way.
Yes, 1970s C-SPAN, and taking notes while delivering the mail. Do you know how insane that is?
Well, I was at home fucking filing FOIA requests, like praying that the wrong person wouldn't notice what I was looking for and fucking
that
kill
was
me.
on me. Honestly, I was like, hey, why don't we just start with the octopus one? That's I'm an idiot, dude. I don't know why you let me do that.
That was dumb. That was really dumb. That was a dumb idea. So we're taking it phase 2. We'll figure it out. But we're recording a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I can't wait. I'm still very excited for this.
It's gonna be sick as hell.
And I think a lot of people are. A lot of people love the chiral mindset and the chiral vectors.
That was literally a year ago, by the way. Like that, the chiral mindset happened a year ago.
Was that really a year ago?
Yeah, because this is right around the time when this is what happens: is the sun gets hot. I'm delivering. I'm out of my route. I start cooking in the LLV, and then I start connecting things. You know what I'm saying? My brain starts like, oh no, this is all making sense now.
Never let Marco see the patterns.
Yeah.
Never let him see them.
His brain got heated up, and he started making some connections.
I swear to God, it gets like 104, 106 inside of those things, and there's no air conditioning, and you're just sitting in there cooking, and like, it's rough. It's
oh my God. So that's coming out still. So that's going to be really fun.
Soon. We just have to change a few things.
And of course, as always, subscribe to the Patreon. I feel like we've been putting out a lot of really fucking good stuff lately. So please, not to toot our own horns. I think we've been pretty fire. Please support us.
The more money that goes into the Patreon, the sooner we can start a search party to find the descendants of Adolf Hitler.
Dude.
I'm still waiting. I don't know. I do want to say one thing. I DM'd Alex the other day, and it's like, I got a pitch deck for an idea, and it was called Western Salami. And it's essentially, because what happens is I listen to your podcast, Western Kabuki, and I just end up riffing along while you're talking, but I'm doing it in an Italian accent. So the idea would be to steal your entire show, upload it with me riffing on top of it, being like, hey, what about that, pal? You know what I mean? And just calling it Western Salami.
Look, if you did that, I would check the fuck out of that. That would be really fucking awesome. I would promote it. It's like, you know how there was that Talking Talk Tua podcast where they're like, they just take Talk Tua podcast very seriously. Yeah. Like that could be your version of that.
Western Salami.
Western Salami. The Italian perspective on
Western Salami. Go kill yourself.
Yeah.
There's got so much to live for.
Yeah.
The treatlers.
Oh fuck.
Holy